killer. Doing a creepy ghost story of how myself and Megan Cookbook did an Ouija board and what happened during the Ouija board with live footage.
It was scary. Okay, so we decided to like burn some old stuff. There's loads of trees surrounded where we did it because it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I know that some religions say that ghosts and spirits live in trees, but we didn't know that at this point. But as we were burning it, there was footsteps. Behind the trees, it's all walls. There was nothing through there. We heard footsteps coming down the stairs. Since that night, like, weird things have been happening.
We ran back to the house. That night there was like taps on the window. Felt like somebody was outside waiting for us, but we just didn't really think anything of it. We went to sleep. The next day there was just a weird feeling in the house and around us. We're both strong believers in like spirits and ghosts. A couple nights before, I decided to do an Ouija board with my friend and nothing happened. Totally wrote it off. And Megan and I decided to go down to my friend's, which lives literally just down the road from me, to do an Ouija board.
After you did the Ouija board, I got 3 scratches.
Oh yeah, she got 3 scratches.
Down my arm. It was really weird. I was like,
yeah.
What the hell?
We spoke to my friend Beth, who lives just down the road, and she came up the night after. And
we didn't tell her anything.
Yeah, we didn't tell her anything that happened. In this room, there's a wardrobe looks like there's a different way into the house or a different room, but it's just a little wardrobe, and it was open. Literally stood there and described a man. The man she described was my granddad, and the clothes he was wearing, she described, was what he wore at his funeral, which kind of creeped the fucking shit out of me. I was like, fuck, shit. And she's never seen a picture of my granddad. I've never spoken to her about my granddad. She didn't even really know he was dead.
To be honest, I can't really remember like any of this night. It was all like a big blur. It was really strange. Talking really low pitched and like really creepy and stuff, and saying things I wouldn't usually say.
It didn't really sound like you.
He had like more strength because I'm really weak, and apparently I was really gripping onto me, being leaving hand marks on her and stuff, and just not being myself. So we called Beth up more because he was a bit freaked out by me. She wouldn't go near me. I don't remember much. And as soon as like Beth got here, if he was like, "Oh, go answer the door to Beth," and as soon as Beth walked in, she was like this, she wouldn't come near me or anything. I was like, "You alright?" We came upstairs, and first thing Beth said to Ivy is, "There's something not right with Megan." I was like, "I'm fine," but pictures of me in my eyes looked really strange. It was really freaky, and that kept happening, so I kept feeling weird. I kept feeling like I was drunk or something.
Beth took that picture of me and Megan. We were sitting there, and behind us you can make out a face. All that actually was behind us was literally just a wall and a curtain, and there's a fucking face.
The next day we were bored, and Beth was like, "Oh, you can come round." Started getting ready, and I was sat here on this stool, and I felt like I leant forward to pick up something like foundation off like the side, and she was stood like there. And my chair went forward, like it was like somebody pushed me and I went flying and like nearly hit the wall. It was like, "What you doing? Stop trying to play a trick on me," sort of thing. I was like, "I'm not, I have genuinely just been pushed." And basically we went down to Beth's house, and they was all like, "Oh yeah, let's do a Ouija board." I'm bored because we told them like what happened. So if it was like, "Oh yeah, we'll do one," and I was like, "Count me out." So they all started doing one and nothing happened. So everyone was like, "Oh Megan, you need to do it. It hurts you and everything, whatever this thing is." And I was like, "Fine, I'll do it." Didn't take much convincing, even though I said I'd never do one. We did the board, we asked it a few questions, and it came out with like saying it was his granddad and stuff.
Yeah,
and the energy
was good.
Yeah, it was like a good energy.
Yeah.
There's no bad feelings, but the room was really cold, and like the right side of me, my arm was freezing. To the board, like, "Oh, you sat next to me," sort of thing, was like, "Yes." And I thought they were moving it, so I was like, "Well, touch me or something." So it kind of pinched my arm. I was like, no, it's all in my head. Like, and then about 10-15 minutes in, we said like, "Is there anyone else like in the room?" And it was saying yes. So we started feeling really awful, and like the energy changed. It became like an aggressive energy. And
well, we asked it, "Do you want to keep talking?" And then it said no.
But we thought it said yes.
Yeah.
We kind of said, "Do you want to keep talking? Do you want us to stay?" Sort of
yeah.
thing.
Because we sort of wanted to carry on because what was happening was really cool and like intriguing.
So the energy of the board changed and it became like a really bad energy. It was moving really aggressively. So we tried saying bye to the board, and the glass was kind of like, it was plastic. So we were pulling it to goodbye, like we said goodbye and everything, and it was like there was 4 people pushing the glass, like the glass kind of indented. We didn't have that on video or anything because I was getting really freaked out at this point. I felt really sick.
We said it properly, and then Megan was like, no, I can't do this, and she took her finger off the cup, which you are not meant to do. And I was like, Megan, you can't do that, you have to keep it on, you have to say goodbye properly, otherwise you're not saying goodbye to the spirits, you're not getting rid of it all, you're not saying goodbye properly, it can follow you, it can latch onto you, whatever this thing is, whoever it is. We basically started pushing it towards no. We went round 3 times and we went down to goodbye, and it stopped.
It would not.
It would not go.
And then I just started crying because like the inside of me felt really weird. It was like I was being squeezed inside, and I was like, "Stop! Everyone, stop! 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 Stop!"
She said, "Is that you making me feel sick?" And it just went straight like boom. Yes.
Oh no! I was like, "Oh my
and we were
god!"
like, "Shit! This is not. We should have said goodbye." So we were trying to say goodbye. We're like, "We need to go. Please let us go." It wouldn't let us. And then
I asked it if I made it angry, and it said yes. So I was wondering if it was because I was the only one who got footage filming it, sort of thing, that might have pissed it off a bit. But
yeah, and it wasn't really saying it wasn't really doing anything to any of us. We finally got to say goodbye, and we'll put all the footage in what we got now.
Yeah.
Do you want to saying?
Wait. No, it wants to stay. Shit. From hurting us. Shit.
Was it you that dropped the feather?
Was that a sign to say you're here to protect us? Yeah. Are the grey hairs yours? Yeah. Ask it again.
Was it you that saw me in the shower earlier?
Was that the bad spirit?
Do you know what it wants with me?
Is the bad spirit going to hurt us? Yeah.
Do you want to saying?
Wait. No, it wants to stay. Shit. From hurting us. Shit.
Was it
Sick. Did you stop it from possessing us? Shit. That was fast.
We were really late for the train to get Megan back where she lives. We walked outside. Megan was like, I feel really sick, and she just threw up all over the floor outside. She couldn't breathe, and I was like, okay, we just need to get away from this house, we need to get onto the train, I'm sure things are fine. So we got onto the train, and Megan was holding my hand, and she had her head on my chest, and she was holding me really hard, and I was like, Megan, are you okay? And she looked at me, and her eyes were black, like fucking black. She was pale. It was really fucking creepy. Like, I'm starting to, I don't even know why. It was fucking awful. Like, shit. I was like, Megan, look at me. And then all of a sudden, you sat up, and her face was green. Her eyes were black, and she did this little smile. Fucking awful. I've got pictures of her progressing. And then we got off the train, and she was like, okay, I feel better now. And her eyes were still black, but she wasn't as green, she didn't look as ill.
So then we went food and everything, we were fine, and then I got on one train to go to my house, and she got on a different train to go back. And it was supposed to leave at like 24 minutes past, and I got on the train and I just got a really weird feeling, like I can't describe it, and I rang her and I was like, I don't want to get on this train, I feel really weird. But I had college the next day, so I had no choice but to go home. So it was quite late, it was about 9:30. I was like, no, I really don't want to get on this train. There's something not right about the train. You stood outside.
Yeah, I was stood outside and I was on the phone to her and I could see her. It sort of went from everything fine to literally just like a face that she pulled on the train. And I was like, if you feel unsafe on the train, get a different one. And the train was late, something was wrong with the train. The doors,
warning lights
were on.
Really
People were
weird.
surrounding the train. There was flashing lights from underneath the train.
The engine on the front was making really loud noise.
And she was sitting on top of where everything was flashing and all the weirdness was going on.
Awful.
The doors wouldn't shut, they wouldn't lock. And I was like, excuse me, what's going on with the train? Why isn't it leaving? It's like 15 minutes late, nothing else happened with the train.
Man, yeah, there was a woman like sat a couple of rows in front of me, was right at the front, like she came and sat next to me. I said, "You all right?" She went, "Yeah, the end, like it's really hot at the front of the train." The conductor, said something about like the engine's getting really hot. They might have to pull up in Wakefield and like have a chat. So I rang Evie and was like, "Oh my god, I'm freaking out. This woman's just come sat next to me." And Evie just went really weird. She did what I did with the Deep Boys.
I can't remember this.
She was saying weird stuff like, "Oh, you're gonna die," and that's not something that Evie would say. She'd be like,
that's not like a genuine conversation. Like, hey, you're gonna die today.
Usually she'd be like, "It's alright, just keep calm, like move, go sit somewhere else." But she was like, "You're gonna die tonight," and everything. It'd be really weird. I was like, "Stop winding me up now." Freaked me out, so I cut her off and I like called my mum saying, "Oh, I'm home." And then I called Evie back 5 minutes later and she's like, "Hey, sorry, I've just got on the train, but like we've not even spoke." And I was like, "Can you not remember our conversation?" She was like, "No, what conversation?" She couldn't remember anything. I was like, "No, you're really winding me up now," because she's such a wind up. And I was like, "No, you're winding me up. She's like, "No, Meg, seriously, I can't remember a thing."
And I remember looking at my call history and that we had like a 5-minute phone call, and I was like, I can't remember that. I got off the train, started walking home, and I was like, Beth, I really don't feel right. I really don't want to go home. I don't want to sleep alone. And she goes, "Oh, well, you can come stop at mine." Bearing in mind, it's her bedroom that we did the fucking Ouija board. At the time, it seemed like a really good idea. And I got there, and the whole energy just sort of felt weird. And I can't describe it. But anyway, I went upstairs, what you normally do, had normal conversation, had a laugh. And all I remember is just trying to get to sleep, but unable to get to sleep.
I was texting Beth, so I was like, I'm like friends with Beth, everything. FaceTime me, and apparently like my screen was flashing really weird. I restart my phone and everything, it kept happening, but it only happened in my bedroom. Like I went downstairs to get some food and stuff, it weren't flashing. So they were getting a bit freaked out. I just paused my camera, just talking to everyone while Beth went downstairs with her family. She started going like really weird, and she said the weirdest thing, and I started crying. She would feel a heartbeat or something. I'm telling you, that was the fucking weirdest thing that's ever happened. And I burst out crying. I remember messaging Beth like, "Get upstairs now." And if you attacked Beth, you leaped onto Beth,
and that's not anything like me. I don't go and attack my friends.
You like grabbed her neck and like her hair, and because like the phone had fallen off, obviously, because we had hold of it, and she if he's gonna die and stuff, and that's what she was saying. I was like, what the fuck? Like, if he's gonna die, I can feel a heartbeat. And Beth was proper shouting like, "Fuck off, like leave her alone," and everything. And Beth literally pinned her to the bed, and it was so funny because she started reading out this weird prayer. And if you read this weird prayer thing out, and then after about 15 minutes, everything was fine. They went to sleep. I was just up. And then, like, my room felt really cold and, like, weird. Like, the feeling I got in Ivy's house, I was like, oh my god, it's followed me, it hates me, it's trying to get me. And they were asleep, so I had no one to talk to. I was just sat in my room with my light off. I kept hearing, like, flicks. And my Xbox makes, like, a weird noise when it's on, so I even unplugged that, so it's freaking me out. Like, they were creaking on, like, the landing, which requires a lot of weight for it to creak. If my little brother stands on it, it doesn't creak, but if a taller person in my family stands on it, it'll creak. There were flicks behind me, and my backboard on my bed is leather. It was like being scratched off, and I was like, fuck this. So I turned my light on, and I can't remember sleeping that night because weird things were happening. I ended up sleeping with my mum. Nearly 18, I slept with my mum. I told my mum everything. My mum was like, "You're a twat," because my mum believes in all this. But it was really weird. It was about 2:30, which apparently is like devil's hour. My mum sat up. My mum's a really heavy sleeper. She just sat up. She looked at her phone, went, "What the fuck?" and put her phone down. Is bang on 2:30. Straight back to sleep. It was like she didn't even wake up. All night, just kept hearing noises. But apparently it was my granddad being up. got up for college, told all my friends at college, and like I've got some religious friends who are like, oh my god, no, you need to go to like the reverend or what, you're gonna die and all.
And I ended up blessing my fucking house. I walked around my fucking house with a
pan,
with a fucking pan with water, salt, and fucking lit a flame in it, saying a fucking prayer, walking through all my fucking house.
That's what that medium told us.
Yeah, well, because I know a medium. And if you don't believe in that, then if you don't believe in any of this, then, you know, do what you want, but I believe in it. I called up my friend, who's my brother's godfather, and he was like, okay, so he told me what I needed to do, and he just turned around and goes, you're an ass, basically, you're a fucking idiot. Bless my house, I actually went into a bath with fucking salt. I put salt in my bath. And I was like, hey, saying a prayer, and I was like, I am blessed to fuck. And Beth had it as well.
Weird stuff still happens in my house. I'm the only one who didn't do like a prayer or anything like that. So my house has not been cleansed or anything. I sleep with the light on now because every time I turn the light off, I get like chills down my spine.
I've seen shadows at her fucking house.
So, yeah, stuff like that happens. So many noises every night, especially between like 2:30, 3:30 sort of time. There's like bangs, there's like the cats go mental, they start running around the kitchen, you hear things fall off, like apparently my cats like knock things off when they're running around going mental. Got really old doors and they make like a really loud noise when they open. I hear that all the time. I'm like, oh, my nan or granddad's up, but no one gets up. It's like someone's door just opens. And does it as well, it kind of pushes open and just slowly flies. But like if I put rubbish in my bin, the ghost kind of like squeezes the wrappers up. It's like a recycling ghost. It loves squeezing my wrappers up and making room in my bin. I'm like, cheers, you can move in my room too. But my mum comes in and praises me for it, but it's not the point.
So that is our weird Ouija board ghost shit. Don't fuck with it, okay? Just don't do it. It's not worth it. That's the lesbian life.